mistakes haunt us, but do they really daunt us? Your tongue can be sharp, you've cut me close to the heart, but we can master the art. And the thing is that these scars.
Hey guys, welcome back. So Reagan is moving out of her apartment. She did not renew her lease. She's been there like almost 2 years. After a year, she went just month to month instead of signing a new lease. So she's free to go whenever. So she gave her notice and she is moving out. She actually hasn't been staying here in a little while. It's just kind of been empty. Her furniture's been in storage. She rented a storage building and took everything over there by herself. She's done so much alone. I don't even know how she did it, but she is wanting to buy a house. She said she's just tired of paying rent, that she's not really getting anywhere with it, and her rent went up a lot. And this is a small apartment, and she was paying over a house payment, probably double a house payment for this apartment that she calls basically a hotel room. So like I said, she's been out for a while. She has had some people in and out, and the place is pretty dirty. So she asked me if I knew anybody that she could hire to clean it. And I was like, well, Heather and I will. Like, I asked Heather. She was like, sure, we've got this coming weekend free. So I did start painting my cabinets, but I took a break from that to come over here and help her clean. I do a whole lot for all of my other kids. I do a whole lot for Lexi and Lakely and Hunter. Y'all know that. And then I do for Kennedy and, of course, Allison. But I don't get to do a whole lot for Reagan. She works a lot, and I don't see her a lot at all. This apartment, like I said, was pretty dirty. It's been empty with people in and out. Kind of, I don't know if I would say party house, but kind of a party house. So anyway, Heather and I were just going to jump in here and help her clean. Her and Kennedy are taking a few more things out, and she had some errands to run, and she ran some errands for me too while I was doing this. So anyway, I just thought I would film it. She told me I could, so I thought I would film it for you guys just to give you some cleanup motivation, and maybe you can get something deep cleaned or just watch and hang out with us for a little bit. In the beginning of the video, I was using this little scraper to get some wax off the wall. She had a wax warmer and it got knocked over and wax went all over the wall. So this took it straight off without taking paint off. I didn't press too hard, just enough to get the wax off but leave the paint. And then in this tub, she had some soap, like a bar of soap or whatever, and it had just left, thick residue that's hard to get off. So I used this little scraper for that as well. It is so handy. I got it for my stovetop, but then since I've had it, I've gotten so much use out of it. Even little spots on your floor that, you're going to have to scrub up that won't come up with just a mop, you can use that. It comes with the little razor blades, but it also comes with plastic ones. That way, if you're afraid to use the metal that it's going to scratch, the plastic ones work really good too. But those are linked in my description box. I only paid like $5 for them. I think they went up a little bit, but anyway, I'm putting some toilet cleaner on the grout lines. So the grout was pretty dark and I noticed it was really dirty. But to be honest with you, it was like this when she moved in. When grout is so old, just going over it with a mop doesn't get your grout clean. It actually just pushes the dirt into the grout lines. So I asked her, I was like, do you care if I try to whiten these grout lines? She was like, I don't care. So I put some toilet cleaner on there and I was just going to see how light I could get it. And I do the same thing to the kitchen. And it actually is a lot cleaner when I get done. It works so well. I love doing grout lines. I guess because it's floors, I love doing floors. But anyway, I told her that if she would get everything out, that I would just, sweep, mop, do the basic stuff, wipe the refrigerator down, wipe the cabinets down, the floors, just do all of that kind of cleaning. So she did get most of everything out. There was still like a few things like her dresser, and we got that out. She needed help with that. But for the most part, she had gotten help and gotten a lot of it out. I think some of her friends had helped her get a few of the heavy things out. I think Kennedy actually helped her get her TV stand, fireplace little kind of deal out. But just going to tell you about that scraper because I love it so much. I've gotten so much use out of it.
Stuck in the moment. The fuse wide open. Stuck in the moment. The fuse wide open. Stuck in the moment. Shine on me, shine on me. Shine on me, shine on me. I've been going out of my head. I've been waiting for someone to give me help. All I'm asking for is just some space and some time. Then I'll be alright. I've been having thoughts in my mind. I can't get out.
So, like I said, she is looking for a house. She's not looking for anything huge, just something, you know, modest, but a little bigger than this, of course. And I was telling her, I said, Reagan, you can get so much more for your money buying versus renting. And she's got a really good job. She's got a really good start. I said, you have no idea really what kind of position you're in right now. Like, you would have no problem buying a house. It would be a really good investment. So she had scheduled her utilities to be cut off, I think like 2 or 3 days after she's out, just so her landlord has time to, you know, use water or electric if needed or get it switched over into a new tenant's name. However that works. But anyway, she was scheduling all of that. And I told her, I said, what about your Wi-Fi? You need to call and have that scheduled to be cut off as well. So she called Spectrum, and of course they go through the whole, do you want it transferred? Well, would you keep it if we lowered it to this? I mean, they just kept on. And the lady was really nice, and Reagan kept like looking at me, and I was like, she's just doing her job. That's just what they're supposed to do. They've got to try to keep you as a customer. Just tell her, you know, you'll get it back once you get a house, but right now you just don't need Wi-Fi. You just don't need their services. So Reagan is really funny. I mean, she will like crack you up, not even meaning to. So this lady kept on trying to get her to do this and that with her internet service. And then there was one point when the lady said, well, what about your spouse? Do you have a spouse that like works from home that could use this internet? She said, no, I had a man, but he wouldn't work. So got rid of him. And I died. It was so funny. And that lady was laughing so hard. She was like, girl, I live in North Carolina and the men ain't no different here. So it was just so funny how Reagan was like, no, I had one. He didn't work. Got rid of him. She does do it all on her own, and I'm super proud of her. She is not lazy at all. She works all kinds of overtime, and I'm just really proud of where she's at right now. Heather had cleaned the microwave and the stove and wiped the refrigerator out. There were a few spots on her wall, so we were just wiping that down. I was going to go ahead and mop just to get all of the dirt off of the floor, and then I put the toilet bowl cleaner with bleach on these grout lines. So you should let it sit, I would say probably about 20 minutes, and then go back in with a scrub brush and just scrub that grout real good. I didn't have a brush, so we had already ran to the store and got some cleaning supplies, and I hated to go back out. So we had a sponge, and I had like a textured side to it that was like pretty gritty, so I used that. It would have worked better if I'd had a scrub brush, and it would have worked better if I had let it sit longer. But we were just in a hurry, so I was trying to get it done. But it does make a big difference. It does look a whole lot better once it's done. And after that, I just get a mop and I go over it and just get all of that up. But if you have grout that looks dark and you didn't grout it yourself and you don't know what color it is, try a little spot of this. If it's a dark grout, it's not going to hurt it. It will just continue to be dark. But you'll be surprised at what color your grout lines really are originally after you use this.
Monday came and swept away all the fun of yesterdays, but I'm gonna hold it together. This ain't forever. Need a shot and then a beat, somewhere to let out some steam. I'm not the one to say never, never say never. Been playing it down, but I'm so getting tired. Now won't you meet high? 'Cause I've been feeling that crazy, and I need to lose control. So baby, put the record on. Baby, put the record on. Hit it. And I've been needing that crazy, and I gotta let it go. So baby, put the record on. I'm not gonna need that song. Hit it.
The next morning, my back was hurting, and I told Heather, I said, my back is hurting, and I don't know why it would be hurting because I didn't lift anything. But as I'm editing this, I'm sure it was from like being squatted down, bent over, scrubbing this floor. I would say that's what I did. But I mean, it wasn't like hurting bad. It was just, aches and pains. I'm old. But if you have back problems and you can't do this, I would suggest just getting like a longer handle scrub brush, or even using a broom probably would kind of scrub some of that up. But it does look so much better. And this apartment smelled so good when we were done. It made me want to go home and clean my own house. So I did take the mop to the baseboards because those were pretty dusty. So I tried to hit them with a broom as I swept, but then I went over them with a mop too to get those good and clean. And any spots I seen on the wall, I did scrub off. And we left the apartment in pretty good shape. Reagan did the windows, and then this was the next day. So we needed to move Reagan's dresser. So Kennedy was here to help with that. I think Reagan was maybe at work on this day, or she may have been in and out. I can't remember, but we got this dresser out, and then I swept and mopped under it, and then I mopped myself out of the house just to go over it one more time. I think Heather swept the living room, and then I go through and mop that and just basically mop herself out of this little apartment. I do walk you guys through just to show you what it looks like empty, and just, kind of memories for her, because this was her first big girl place. She lived on her own for almost 2 years and paid every single thing herself, and she did really good. But I know that there are better things that lie ahead for her, and she is going to find the right place at the right time. And yeah, so I'll keep you guys updated on that, and maybe it'll be a fixer-upper and we can do some work to it, or maybe it'll be new and it'll be finished. I don't know what the future holds for her, but we'll bring you guys along for it.
In times that are changing and when hope is fading, I know I can turn to your embrace. 'Cause there's so much beauty under your heaven, and I'm grateful every day. Sometimes I give up, just wanna be on my own. Even in the darkest
If you guys know my story, you know that Reagan and I butt heads a lot. She's my child that kind of pushes her limits, and she's always been that way. I said she was born that way. Even as a toddler, I could see that she had her own personality, and she was just very hard-headed and would do it or die kind of child. She was that one for me. But she is who she is, and I love her the same as I love my other kids, unconditionally. I wanted to read this for Reagan, and maybe it'll hit home to one of you guys too. If you ever feel like you aren't worthy enough to be used by God, let alone loved by Him, just remember that Jesus used a bunch of flawed people to share hope to a flawed and broken world. In God, we find renewal, mending, and purpose. Jesus didn't call the equipped, He equipped the called. And no matter what you've been through in life, remember that the same power that conquered the grave lives within you. You are worthy of life. You are worthy of God's love. You are worthy of joy. You are worthy of fulfilling purpose that will take you to places you never imagined reaching. Thank you guys so much for being here and for watching, and we're off to bigger and better things, hopefully. I love you. Jesus loves you, and I will see you in the next one, painting my kitchen cabinets.
Keep my windows open. I hear the cries of the broken. I know they were made for more than this. I see all the fire and smoke, and their hearts are losing hope. Yeah, I know it's hard. I wanna be a shining light, live a life that shows through the